Hello, welcome once again to Pale Blooms and Beyond. Thank you for joining us today. If you do like the programming you see here and the musicians and artists I visit with, please be sure and hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Paul Wishart is a Scottish musician, multi-instrumentalist, and innovator. Paul began early, starting his first band at the age of 17. After a short stint in the band Skids, which included Stuart Adamson and Richard Jobson, Paul joined Simple Minds as a touring member on their 1980 Empires and Dance tour. Then came the band Endgames, where he played on the 1984 album Building Beauty. Post Endgames, Paul was in Fiction Factory and played as a guest musician on their 1985 album Another Story. Mr. Wishart has been at the forefront of music equipment innovation, pioneering the use of synthesizers, including the Fairlight and early MIDI technology. He's also been involved in the distribution and production of cutting-edge musical equipment. Today, my guest is still very active in the music industry. Well, welcome, Paul.
Thank you. That was a very grand and grandiloquent intro. I feel great.
Are you ready? Are you ready to accept your award now?
Yes, please. Oh, my liege.
Right, right. Well, take us back a few years. Where were you born?
I was born in Motherwell in Scotland. I moved to Paisley, where I am now, as a kid. I was about 7 or 8, and went to school here.
Okay. Do you remember early? Do you remember early hearing music in the household?
Oh yeah, my dad was a modern jazz musician, so I thought Thelonious Monk was punk music. I had no idea what music. I'd never heard the Beatles because why would you?
Yeah.
You don't need to Stan Getz, Sonny Collins. There's all these amazing jazz things going on. Plus, he'd all instruments bringing in the house. I saw Fender Rhodes when a Fender Rhodes came out because he bought one and played it. And it's right in front of me. So I didn't know that everyone else wasn't getting that opportunity. I just thought it was normal because my dad was playing and he played sax, he played piano, and so it was all like normal in my house. So it was wonderful, wonderful gift that was given to me that I wasn't aware of at the time.
Right. That passed down that musical gene to you. I've always liked the sound of the Fender Rhodes. I always liked that.
Yeah. And he had a Cynthia, the little Korg 700, I think, at the time. This in the 70s, when these things started to come around. So it was, wonderful, wonderful, like college education as a kid in music.
Right. Well, can you remember one of the first singles or albums that you bought?
Oh gosh, no. Well, the funny thing for me is I got to 16 and punk rock hit Britain. So the Sex Pistols, the Stranglers, all this came out, and it was so evocative. For a 16-year-old, Anarchy in the UK as a title of a song. It really grips you at 16. So I went away from all what had been to the extreme other end. The sort of give me the Ramones. What's green pop, and you're at high school. That kind of feeling. But it went quite quickly changed. It went from that into I like bands like Magazine. I like Ultravox. Ultravox's first 3 albums with John Fox.
Oh yes.
But and I like Midge is great and all that, but I grew up with that is my Ultravox. I can't think about my Ultravox when it went on from that. It doesn't work for me. It's just a pop band.
Yeah, two different sounds with the John Fox led and the Midger. The mentioned Magazine.
I love how
I don't know
the lyrics.
I don't know if you happen to see my interview with Barry Adamson. I don't
know.
Okay. I will, after we're done, I can send you the link so you don't have to scroll.
All right, thank you. I'll have to look at it. I mean, they were great. First album, Real Life, it's just brilliant feeling to hear that same, Psychedelic Furs, first album.
Right.
I love that. Purity in Pink, all that sort of stuff.
Right. That came up recently in another interview. The first Psychedelic Furs album came up recently. So that's interesting. Yeah. Well, What was the very first instrument you learned to play?
Flute.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of 7, 8 flute and
Oh,
piano. Started piano then as well.
okay. Did they have in school? Did they have you
School
learned
orchestras. Yeah.
did they have you learn the recorder in school?
Uh, yes, you do. You do that in kind of junior.
Yeah.
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 Everyone gets a try on it to do the recorder. Yeah. And
I've
then they
heard-
do the ear test. Ding, ding, ding. Is that high? Ding, ding, ding. Is that low? Ding, ding, ding. You know,
Yeah,
yeah. I
I've
remember
heard
that.
I've heard those stories too. Yeah. Well, at what age did you start playing saxophone?
Later, probably about 15, 16, because the same fingering as the flute. You know, it's
Yeah,
just a single reed instead of the embouchure across the mouthpiece.
right, right.
So it was easy, plus sexy, super sexy, Roxy music. You know, what can I
Yeah,
say? It's all ready to go. Let's go, baby. There you go. You can see the spot, you know?
yes, yes.
And, you know, first gig we did with Endgames, the thing I loved about David Rudden had been signed to the Berlin Blonde with the Berlin Blondes to EMI, so he'd already been behind the veil, if you like. He was
Yes.
already aware of what record companies were. Our first gig, he demanded that we had a full production, so we had lights, backdrop, everything. And we started with Kraftwerk, Autobahn.
Oh,
Down,
okay.
down, 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 down. This
Yeah,
is 79. It's brilliant. And I
yes.
could do the dun, 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 all the flute part and all that, you know.
Yeah,
And for people at that time, it was like extraordinary because it's 3 piece with a drum machine, you know.
yeah.
So it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
a bit like Suicide, with like a sort of Scottish Suicide.
Oh, right. I love Suicide. Love Suicide. Yeah.
And that sort of reflects in our second record. Our first record, we were wanted to be chic. We were like, let's be chic. So our very first Endgames record, We Feel Good, was our
Yeah.
attempt at being chic because we're like, we love that sound. We want to be that. And the next record was our second single was First Last for Everything, is a kind of kick back to Suicide kind of drum box and
Yeah.
kind of synth era. It's great. I love the second single.
Yeah.
The second single was recorded before MIDI was invented, so it's all done in what's called CV Gate, and it was
Yes.
done by Steve Levine, who did
Oh,
Culture
yes.
Club.
With Culture Club. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he did the second single, wasn't he? He was really young and he knew how to do it all, make it all go together. And
Yeah.
we used the bass. The guy who played the bass on it was the guy who played on a band called Imagination. He was the producer, Steve Jolly, his name was.
Steve
And
Jolly. I know that name.
yeah, and he did it in 2 takes. Came in, played the bass line through once, and then just did it, and it was precise and it was extraordinary. Loved it. It's a great experience. It's great doing that because it was so far ahead. No one
Yeah.
else was really, it's all very kind of, I feel love, sort of Georgia Morodery, you know.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that was the first 2 singles with Endgames, and then the first album we actually got dropped by Phonogram. So
Yeah.
we should have really finished then. We should have disappeared from the circuit at that point because
Yeah.
most people get a 2 singles deal. There's loads of them, and then it just the runs out of road.
Right.
Whether you realize it or not, it runs out of road.
Right.
But and extraordinarily, as I mentioned earlier before we started, we
Yeah.
had no management. We'd
Right.
already secured a record deal and a publishing deal, but we had no management. We just did it ourselves. And what we realised doing the 2 singles with Phonogram, and what was the extraordinary thing that we pulled off was we analysed the situation and realised just write hit singles, forget about everything else, and you will get another deal.
Yeah.
So our
Right.
next demo had the first 2 singles from our next record
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
So we actually achieved that. We just
Yeah.
went straight to pop. We're going to pop it out here. And
Yeah.
one of those, Waiting for Another Chance,
Uh-huh.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
released by Virgin,
Yeah.
became a top 20 hit in Germany. And we did
Yes.
like
That
Formula 1, like the top of the pops there. And
right.
we also did it in
Yeah.
Belgium as well. It went in the
Right.
top 40 in
Well,
Belgium. So we
I
still have
must,
no management. We
yeah,
still have no management when
no
all this has
management.
happened.
Yeah. I must have pretty good taste because that was my pick, one of my picks off of that album, Waiting for Another Chance.
Yeah.
I really like that one. And I want to show you, I still have my vinyl copy. I want to show you of the album here. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
A blast from the past, right?
That's the that's the American cover. I
Yes.
mean,
That's the
once I
American.
was gone, both Douglas and I are cut out of it. That's just the other 4 guys
Yeah.
that are left.
Building
You know,
Beauty. Yeah, there we go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
that,
ever see the British cover?
yes, I did. I have
It
seen
was
it.
really saucy. It was
Yeah, it
Building
is. It's
Beauty.
a lot. It's a lot more. And here's the back.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
the back on
I've
that.
seen it before. I've seen it before. You
Yeah,
know,
and it's
but you know,
yeah.
we had sort of an acrimonious kind of ending between us, and
Oh,
so Douglas and
yeah.
I left, and
Okay.
the other
Well,
four went on and did
I
the fulfilled the obligation of the second
yeah,
album. But the second album
right.
was only ever released in Germany and Britain.
Done.
It was never released in America,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's got you credited on here for the Poly 6, the Wave PPG
Yeah,
2.2, and saxophone.
yeah,
Yeah, on that.
that's right.
Yeah. Well, my other pick off of here is Love Cares. I really like that one.
Dude,
Yeah.
so they're the two singles. They're the
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
singles. You picked the two, exactly what I'm saying. We
Yeah.
went,
Yeah.
and let's see all the thing you love about this bit is on that album is a
Yeah.
track called Ecstasy,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And you're going to love this. Now,
Yeah.
Ecstasy, I'm driving down the highway in 1994. This record's out in 1984.
Yeah.
1994, I'm driving down the highway in Hamburg, Germany, and I hear a record coming on the radio. It's a hip hop record.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's familiar.
Yeah.
I had actually written this. One of the last is always these are the best stories. As a
Yeah.
track filler for the album,
Okay.
I wrote Ecstasy in the
Okay.
studio. Yeah,
Yeah.
overnight. One night, I wrote the riff. It's dun 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 dun. That's all it was. Yeah. Now we go to 1994. You're going to love this. So the head of A&R of a company in New York at that time is a guy called P Diddy, and
Oh, really?
he finds the 12-inch of Ecstasy,
Uh-huh.
takes the front end off of it,
Uh-huh.
turns it into Heavy D and the Boys, Nothing But Love, and it goes
Uh,
triple platinum in
yeah.
the
He's
charts. It's a
yeah.
summer of love, hip hop
Yeah.
hit.
And
So
sample. He's yeah.
since then we've had
Uh-huh.
Little Flip.
Yeah.
Um, what's the name here? Maya. I don't know who these people are, but
Right.
there's this riff in the hip
Yeah.
hop world that they
Right.
think is a hip hop thing, and it's
Yeah.
actually a bunch of dudes from Glasgow that
It's
wrote
from
it.
Glasgow.
It's so
Yeah,
beautiful.
they
It's the
sampled it.
best ever.
They
You know?
sampled it, and it's like seeing your music live on like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Another one that I thought, speaking of Scottish bands, that you wouldn't know at the time, uh, Average White Band. Going
Oh,
back in the '70s. I mean, I think everybody when they first heard that band, they said, "Oh, that's a black band. That's an American band."
exactly, exactly.
Right,
Of-
right.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. They just had that sound down. I mean, they just had that. Yeah.
Really funky at the
Yes.
time. It was super funky. There was, Bootsy Collins could have played with them. They were that
Right.
funky.
That right, right. Wow. Well, go back a little bit to I want to hear a little bit about first band. Were you in a band prior to the Skids?
Well, it's actually the other way around, right?
Okay.
I made the intro earlier, I've just
Okay.
technically. So I'm in Endgames, and that's my
Okay.
first band
And
with
then after was Skids. Okay.
no,
No.
in the Endgames,
Okay.
and the brother of Jim Kerr sees me at the first gig,
Okay.
tells his brother about it. His brother comes and sees us rehearsing, and then I get a phone call from the Simple Minds manager, and I go on tour in January 1980.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
that lasts about 4 or 5 months because it's their biggest tour. They're
yeah.
support to Peter Gabriel on Peter Gabriel's third album. So
The
they've been doing a couple of gigs in Europe when they were in Arista. They've
that
just
was
got signed to
right.
Virgin.
That was the Empires and Dance tour. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
the Empires and Dance tour, and
Yeah.
they're suddenly, for Simple Minds, this is huge because they're doing 5 nights in Paris, five
Yeah.
nights in Berlin. They're
Yeah.
playing to 30,000 people because it's Gabriel, and
Yeah.
Gabriel's mad. I didn't realize how big he was or how good he
Right.
was.
Right.
Wow, he was
Yeah.
unbelievable, and his voice.
Yeah.
When you go to gigs and people don't sound
Yeah.
as good as they do on the
Yes.
record,
Yes.
he sounds better.
He
You're like,
sounds
oh my
better.
god, that's the quality, the texture. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, and
Yeah.
some of the songs, Family Snapshots. Oh,
Right.
unbelievable.
I can't remember who it was, but I reached out to one of the early members, Simple Minds. That's someone I would like to talk to. One of the early members. not the later years, but somebody who was there from the beginning.
Yeah,
Uh,
you should talk to Brian McGee. He was in Endgames and he was also at the start. Brian was there at the start.
well, then let's get back into.
So it was the Mines first and then the Skids. So how I got the
Okay.
Skids gig was that the
Yes.
last gig was a Hammersmith Pally in London with the
Okay.
Mines. I'd been on tour for 4 months. I'd
Okay.
never done anything like that. I was a completely different human being when I came back from that because I'd seen the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
Right, I'd been in every part of Europe, Portugal to Italy to Greece, everywhere because it's Gabriel. So I had
Right.
it was such a wonderful opportunity. I never realised at the time because I'm 18. What do I know? But
Right. Right.
it was brilliant to do it. And when I
Yeah.
come back from that at the last gig,
Yeah.
Jobson turned up at the gig because they're all Scots together, and he
Yeah.
said, "I'm doing an album. It's called Joy. It's going to be like the Corys kind of folk.
Yes. Yes.
Stuart's gone.
Yes.
Stuart's
Oh,
already gone. So this is
he's
the
already
last
the
Virgin
last one.
album,
Yes.
and it's
Exactly.
only him and Russell Webb are left, the bass player and him. So
Right.
it's all like the Corys kind of stuff. It's what he wanted me
Yeah.
because I could do the
Yeah.
flute and stuff like that, sax, and he wanted
Yes.
atmospheric sort of stuff. So,
Right.
so yeah, come and stay in
Yeah.
my house. It'll all be cool, and we'll do this. Now,
Yeah.
I've got to say, it was really good fun, and lots of really crazy stuff happened because he was, you know, he was an influencer. If it was influencing now, he
Yeah.
was definitely an influencer there. He was at the
Right.
back cover of NME all the time.
Oh,
He'd
yeah.
already had all these hits. He was
Yeah.
living with Severin. They were still
Yeah.
that whole thing
Yeah.
was going on.
Yeah. There it is.
That's it. Yeah, I'm on
That's
the
the
back.
album.
I'm
That's
on the
it.
back cover.
That's the album. That's you. That's you.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
no,
Just
no,
in the
no.
credits.
That's
Just
Russell. That's Russell.
that's Russell. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just in the credits.
but it's got you in the credits. Let me hold that up again. Yeah, I like this picture because it's like
Oh,
it's
it's a great picture of him.
out
Ah,
in the
great
heat.
picture.
They're like
Yeah,
sweating. They're like sweating. It's out
yeah,
in the heat. Yes, I do. I do. I knew I had that copy. Let me see here real quick, and I will see your name. There it is. There it is. Saxophone, flute,
yeah. That's like I said.
and piano. Piano.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they didn't play piano. I could, it wasn't like Richard's
Yeah.
not playing
Yeah.
piano. He plays guitar.
Right. Right. But that's a nice album. That is a nice album. Yeah. Yeah.
It
So
wasn't. I mean, for me,
yeah.
it's fantastic, and it brings
Yeah.
back wonderful memories to see it
Yeah.
because
Yes.
I was there.
Yes.
I mean, it was
Right.
recorded in Angel Studios, right?
Right. Right.
And Nick Griffiths was in Angel Studios,
Yeah.
and Nick
Oh.
Griffiths was in Pink
Yeah.
Floyd.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was just a guy. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Again, I'm
Yeah.
still young. I don't know who these people are that are walking around.
Right.
So it's quite a lot happened. He had Jobson was very involved with, like, he had his poetry book out. I went
Yeah.
to the poetry tour with him, you
Right.
know. So
Right.
he was like really trying to delve into other arteries of, if you could call the arts and entertainment, you
Yes.
know. I
Yes.
remember, Julian, whatever his name is, the film director came round one afternoon. The next afternoon it would be someone else, the Haircut 100 manager was a friend of his. I remember him.
Was it Mendelssohn? Mendelssohn?
It might have been.
Okay.
Who's the other one? Julian Sands. I remember going for
Oh, okay.
breakfast one
Okay.
morning with him. You know what I mean? So he had all this
Yeah.
length and breadth. He'd been living in London for a while and he'd done really well
Right.
in that sense. So it
Right.
was
Right.
great for me. I had no idea. I got
Yeah.
introduced to all of this stuff because I was just
Yeah.
happened to be there working with them.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that was how that happened.
Oh,
And
okay. Well, so you didn't get to work with Stewart at all. You didn't.
no,
Okay.
no. I mean, Stuart was the band, let's face it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
A big country. This is the thing. People don't understand here. Maybe they do if they live in Dunfermline, where he comes from. But big country was massive in America.
Oh,
It was a
yeah.
big, massive hit. And
Yeah.
the sound is actually synonymous with him. It's like he made that sound, and that sound is synonymous with him.
Yes.
So not
Yes.
only did he become successful, much more successful than the Skids, but he
Yeah.
also became iconic for having his own sound.
That's right. Yes, he did. Did you happen to hear his material he was doing before he died? He
No,
had relocated, I think, to Nashville or
that's right.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's very Americana. It was very that sound, really, rootsy
I think if anyone from Scotland was to move to Nashville, they would end up getting really into Americana. There's just no
yeah,
question. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you, I've
right.
done Nashville a load of times over the years because the music trade show there called the NAM show every year. It used to be in the summer in the NAM Conference Centre. It's in the big conference centre now. And
Yeah. Hmm.
when you go there, it's like it's the home of country.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's you're getting every angle of it, every oozing from every pore is country.
Yeah.
Broadway, you look at it, it's just all pumping with, the country sound, Americana. I
Yes.
mean, it's a wonderful place to be. I mean, it's sad how it all worked out for him.
Yeah. I know it. I know. Well, what year did you join Fiction Factory? Do you remember what year?
84,
84. Okay.
yeah,
84.
just
80.
after their first hit in Britain.
Okay.
So they just had a hit in with Feels Like Heaven, and their
Yes.
keyboard player didn't want to go out on tour, and I got a call, and that was it. I was off.
Okay, yes. Well, let me see here real. No, I got that. Yeah, I do have. Yeah, yeah, I got that. I got both of those actually. Oh, okay. Yeah, here's that. Here's that. I still have the single. You mentioned Feels Like Heaven. Still hold that up
Yeah,
there
that
too.
was
What
a
a
massive
song.
hit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
what a song. And it's been used in soundtracks. I heard one movie they reused that. And then
I
and
think
then
they did
here.
a Reese advert recently. They did a Peanut advert recently with it as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Did they? Did they?
yeah.
And then here's the other. I don't know. Did you play on this one? Not the only one. I got another.
Mm, I can't remember. I can't
Okay.
remember. If it's a CBS, no. First, it would depend what I would be on
What?
it. I'll be on the back cover if I'm on it. I don't think I am on
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I'm only on the Warped Wheel one, whatever that is,
Oh,
the second album.
okay. Yeah, this was on Foundry label. But then here's this one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one I played on. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I saw the credits on this one. It's another story, also on Foundry. On
yeah.
the Foundry level. And again, just yes, there we go. Credited keyboards, specifically keyboards on this one. Yeah, yeah. Wow, there we go.
That
Wow.
was a lot of fun. They're nice guys. They. What was really good about that was that they had the hit in Britain
Yeah,
before this album was recorded. They'd
right.
had the Feels Like Heaven hit, and I came in as the session sort of keyboard player, and we just went straight out to TV show after TV show all over
Yeah,
Europe, and
yes.
then we went on tour with OMD. So we did a UK tour with OMD
Okay.
on the back of the first single,
Oh, yeah.
and then they put a second single out, and it wasn't successful, and then we went and recorded the next album.
I don't
Um,
I don't know if you remember the song off of here, Time Is Right. I really like that one.
I
I
can't remember.
wonder.
If I heard it, as soon as I heard it, I'd remember it. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, the thing, most of them were written by Kevin, and Kevin was a
Yeah,
good, he was good. I liked the way he structured songs and he had good melodies, you know.
right, right. Do you remember the fan club was in Liverpool?
I
Yeah.
don't remember the fan club, but I do remember that Kevin had a lot of fans,
Yeah. Yeah.
girls,
Yeah.
young girls. And we went on that tour with OMD. There was loads of young girls all everywhere.
Going crazy.
Because he had the blonde sort of hair, all spiky, and
Right.
he's got that kind of, sharp features. And the
Yeah.
song itself, it's all very dark.
Kind of, he has that chiseled face. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
twisting
exactly.
the bones until they snap. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what's going on here?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Well,
So
go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
no, that was it. That's it. I mean, that's me up to there. That's my sort of musical sort of journey with bands and stuff. When I was doing the Endgames album and we were recording it with Virgin, we brought in we used all technology at the time. So we had the Lin drum is actually most of the drums on the first Endgames album, Building
Yeah.
Beauty. But we also brought in the Fairlight and used the Fairlight on a lot of stuff as well. I got
Yeah.
to use used to the Fairlight, and then I actually started my first job out of what you call music creation and then into sort of music production, if you like, was working for the company that distributed Fairlight in the UK. And so
Uh,
so I got to know a lot of Fairlight users, and I also got caught with the bug of software and the capabilities of software, how you could create through software things that you couldn't do before,
right.
the whole innovation of it. And
Yeah.
that took me on my journey from then, I worked for various companies in that industry.
I wanted to mention, you mentioned Lynn drums,
Oh, I
uh,
loved it.
another Scottish band, Blue Nile.
Love Blue Nile.
Yeah, they use that. Yes, utilize that.
I mean, everything's line drum from as soon as it comes out. From we got it right at the start, '83, before it
Yeah,
was even MIDI. So
right.
we jumped on it, but it was very unreliable. We had to keep getting the hire company to bring another one because they kept breaking down. But it was
Oh, did
very
they?
early stages. This is all really at the very start of all the kind of technology,
Yeah.
you know. And
Well,
now, second to none. Look at where it's gone now. Every drum in the world, every drummer in the world is all available as a sample.
right,
You know?
right. Oh yeah,
It's
yeah. Oh
really
yes.
transformed from that early era. You had to actually play the instrument.
Yes, yes. Right. You actually play and not just program. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
How far it's come, yeah, to the home studios and all
oh,
that.
the way the whole AI thing's going, I
Yeah,
mean, right here, right now, to come up to date,
yeah,
it's a shocker. It's
right.
absolutely shocker. But I kind of see what's happening because the big companies that have been, they're making a lot of money out of streaming because they don't have to do it. It's all reruns, and oh, what we're going to sell more Queen if we keep putting Queen out.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
they're just gargantuan amounts of profits are coming in. They've got these kind of TuneCore and all these other kind of companies sort of running it.
yeah,
But now AI's coming, and you can just smorgasbord or turn it all into. You can take Queen and you can take the Stones, and both you've got
yeah.
something new.
Right,
And it's the
right.
whole. It's how they're going to. How do you digitally fingerprint that once it's done? It's
Yeah, yeah.
so it's very big change times. You could find. I think we have already had a AI band sort of going up the charts or being
Oh,
successful,
yeah.
but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not no people. It's just all made up.
It's all made up. It's all on my Facebook account. They found out that I like some of the prog rock from back
Right.
in the day, and so I get these will come in and they're all AI. AI
Yeah.
created bands. It's like this is the lost band that never made it and stuff. And you look them up. There's no such band.
Yeah.
It's all glossy looking, but
I
it's
love Bad Company, dude. I absolutely
yeah.
love Bad Company.
Oh
I love
yeah.
that era. I love Zeppelin 1, 2, and 3. I just that
Oh
that whole era. There's a whole era between '69 and '76 where it just exploded. Everything. You've got Zeppelin, you've got Black Sabbath, you've got freaking Bad Company, you've got Queen. All in that era, and they all come out with all extraordinary music in that 6 years sort of window. It's unbelievable.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
I love all of that too. And
Yes, I mean you've got all that. You've got Genesis first three albums. It's
yes,
amazing. All in the one sweet spot.
right, right. Oh
You
yeah,
know.
the early Genesis is some of my favorite.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
trick. When it gets to Trick of the Tail, it's like, no, you're Phil Collins. You know,
yeah, it
it's
was,
because
but
it's Gabriel.
that's a
It
great
sounded
album
very
though.
similar. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. That was to me to hear two guys, and he was the drummer,
so
primarily, but to hear
close.
their vocals are
I
so
know,
yeah similar.
isn't it? That
Yeah,
was extraordinary as well. Yeah, I mean, it's they are slightly different, but they have got very similar tonal, viscery coming off their voice, texture coming off their voice. It's
they do
amazing
too.
when you
They
think about
do.
it.
Exactly. And but you mentioned that. I mean, that album is still one of my favorites. Ripples, the song Ripples. Oh,
Oh,
that
the,
get
the
that
first album
that
is
get
the first album's mega for
yeah.
Blue Nile, but the other ones the ones that we had great times with was the Associates, Billy
Oh,
McKenzie, the Associates.
yes. Yes.
It's so much better,
Oh,
dude.
that's
Because
another one. Yes. Yes.
Billy's was extraordinary, and we had wild. I mean, I remember getting in a car at like 7 o'clock at night, a little after a few beverages with Billy,
Yeah.
Dave from Endgames, Alan
Yes.
Rankin, and myself
Yes.
driving to the Manor in Oxfordshire
Yeah.
and going in while the Mines were recording New Gold Dream. You
Yes.
know, and
Oh, right, right.
you know what I mean? While they were recording it, they were actually recording. Mick was recording that bit
Yeah.
when we came in.
Yeah.
I remember, and
Oh,
we had
man.
a right wild night there. That they stayed, Davey and Alan Rankin stayed, and I went back with Bill McKenzie to the hotel that we had in London, the
Yeah.
Columbia. And the next morning, I remember so vividly. I was getting up. I was like, Billy, I'm going to go downstairs and get a cup of tea. And he's like, can you get me some toast and a coffee? He's like a wee baby's face. I'll give me some toast and a coffee. But we had the right good times with him. He was
Yes.
what a singer, what a voice.
Oh, what a
Oh,
voice! What a voice!
oh.
What he could do with that voice. Yeah,
Have you heard the stuff with what was that Swiss band that he did? He did something with his with Shirley Bassey and
oh
the
sure. Oh, okay, Shirley Bassey. Okay. Wow.
and Billy Mackenzie. Check that out.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
the guys who did Shirley Bassey for the Bond movie. What are they called again? The oh gosh, can't remember. But it's the same
Okay.
era, the 80s, and it's these two Swiss dudes that had a few hits, and they did a song with Wild as the Wind, I think it's called, with Billy, and it's him letting go,
Oh,
really letting
okay.
go and doing, because he had an extraordinary kind of vocal range.
Yes.
Party Fears 2, when you hear that, the whole, what's that? Oh, it's the way it even starts, it's all like, what's going on here? And he just jumps in with, I'll take a shower and then phone my brother. It's like, what is going on here?
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
Absolutely brilliant. I
Oh
loved them.
yes. Oh yes. And it's a couple of things there that I was going to mention is like they're both passed now, Alan and Billy. Alan,
Yes,
what, a year or not too
I
long
know.
ago?
I
Not too
know.
long
It's
ago.
a shame. I mean,
You know,
Alan was about for a lot longer, but
yeah,
poor
yeah.
Alan, he
I
just
had
he
I had
faded. He didn't keep himself healthy.
Right.
He
He
faded.
really gained a lot of weight.
Yeah,
I could see that. He really had. And I reached out to him and he said that he would do a phone interview. He said, "I'll do a phone interview." And I don't do phone interviews, you know. It's either
yeah,
video. I'll do a written
yeah.
interview. If they prefer that, I'll do a written interview, but I don't do phone. So I said, "Sorry, sorry." But then it wasn't very long after that I found out he passed, you know.
A
So,
shame. Same with Billy. The two of them. I mean,
yeah.
I can't believe it. Billy's gone because he was really. It was a lot more to come from him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just the way of
Right.
the good thing is we're all young when we had that
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
fortune to be in those positions, and we had
Right.
the good fortune to have those journeys, and they
Right.
did have an extraordinary journey. I mean, they spent
Yes.
hundreds of thousands of pounds and made a bunch of records that never did anything after their first one.
Right, right. But
But they
you,
were had such talent that even you could tell the A&R guys, what am I going to do? Of course I'm going to pay for it. It's Billy
yeah,
Mackenzie. You know
right,
what I
right.
mean? What I'm going to
Yeah.
do?
You mentioned A New Gold Dream, Simple Mind.
Oh,
That's still
what an
my
album.
favorite. That's my
Oh,
favorite album. Yeah,
me
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. I think
I
after
gave
that they tended to get a little too commercial after that. I
uh,
think that was the right at their peak. I think that was really their
hang on a sec, my
sure.
dog. Stop,
Okay.
hey, stop
Oh,
that. He's eating a
what?
plastic ball and he's destroyed it.
What you just have one dog? You just have one?
two,
Oh,
two,
two. Oh,
and they're
what breed?
one's
What
really
breed?
old, and one's really young. You've got three.
No, no. I was gonna say what breed? What breed?
Oh, what breed? They're Australian brown merles, so they're collies, but they're kind of white and brown and kind of mottled, you know.
Oh, okay, okay.
And one's a Welsh. It's half Welsh, half Australian, you know.
Okay, okay. I have a Labradoodle.
I know.
So
Oh wow! So you've got the same You've got the same problem. Highly educated dog.
yes,
Yeah,
that's
that likes
it.
to muck about as well. Oh,
Yes,
fun. Let's do some fun
yes.
stuff.
Hey,
Oh,
highly
sorry, I ate
educated.
your shoe.
Yes, highly educated and very stubborn. Very stubborn. Yes,
I'm
and
quite big as well. They're quite big. The Labradoodles have got a bit of muscle
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Mine's the black lab. Black. The chocolate,
Nice.
as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's quite a character. Yeah, but very loving. He's also very loving. So
Yeah. I mean,
we've only
I've got two only because the older one is 15 now and he's going to go, and I
yeah,
don't have the heart to be able to control myself when he goes because
yeah,
it is a member of the family. I'm like
right,
so,
right.
and I've got so many memories. I won't be able to cope. So I got the young one, but the young one's driving me nuts because he's young. He's like,
Yeah,
I'm jumping around. I'm jumping around. I've got lots of energy. Have you?
yeah,
And I'm like,
right,
I'm just
right.
trying to get up.
Yeah, I know. Thankfully ours is in his mature age now, about 7, 8 years old. So yeah,
Oh, perfect.
he's more mellow. He's more
Yeah,
mellow.
they do mellow out, don't they? They get a bit more
Yeah.
the round edges.
Yes. Yeah. Do
I
yours
tell you, the other thing, another thing I must say, now you reminded me and all this, is the other thing that happened to us that was really cool
yeah.
was in '79, we went to London and got EMI to give us money to do a demo. And
Yes.
while we were there, we went to a club called the Blitz Club.
Oh, right,
So we
right.
were actually probably one of maybe a handful of Scots that ever were in the Blitz Club. And we
Yeah,
managed to get in. I remember we never all got in. The driver that drove us up and down got knocked back right at the door, and me and Dave got in. And it
yeah.
was Boy George in the cloakroom, and it
Okay.
was Steve Strange at the door, like looking straight at me, like you can go in, and then looking at Dave, like, you can go in. No, you're not getting in.
Yeah,
And he was just standing out the front doing that to people the whole time. But we
yeah,
got in. We did the whole Blitz thing.
yeah. Well,
You know, we actually were part of it, and I just feel like that
yeah,
for me is kind of really cool because it's like
right. To be
I'm
able
from
to say that. Yeah.
Glasgow. At that time, we shouldn't have been. It was only open for 6 months,
Yeah, yeah.
and we
Well,
managed
that's
to just be there at the right time and actually
right,
go and get in.
right,
So
right.
that
Well,
makes me happy. Those sort of, like
yeah,
I said, the
yeah,
joy I get from it is that I had no
yeah.
idea. I never went into it with any preconceived ideas.
Yes,
Only
yeah,
after those experiences with the mines and the skids did
yeah,
it get form my kind of understanding of what the industry was, because I'd had insight that no
yes,
one else really had, but I didn't know at the time that it was a privilege that I'd had that. But that privilege has set me up for life,
right.
because seeing those things, being involved with those things, when Richard Branson walks into the studio, we're in the Manor, and he walks in with our vase off, you know, he's
Yeah,
done something right,
yeah,
you know.
right, right. Yeah.
You're like,
You
I
know,
must have done something right to get to this
yeah,
point. And
yeah,
so I feel quite kind of comfortable in the fact that we got as far as we got, and we actually managed to managed to pull off a second deal, second deal with
right,
Endgames, which
right.
was my very first gig was Endgames. So to have got that far on that journey was really great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how was
And
that? Do you have memories of that first gig, the show? How was that?
oh yeah, the very first Endgames gig, like I said, we started with Autobahn, so it was like, and it's right at the start of the whole new romantic thing.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah,
right in the sweet spot. We're playing electronic music, and it's a
yes,
three-piece Suicide vibe. It was the drum machine on the foot controller.
yeah.
So it was, and I would some songs I'd play sax, some bit to play flute, some bit times I'd play
Yeah.
guitar.
Yes.
Um, and with Dave, the keyboard player, was really a good keyboard player, and we had a bunch of synths.
Yeah.
And well, away we went. Big Dave played the
Uh,
bass and sang.
yeah.
Well,
Right.
so I mean, it was great fun. But
Yeah.
the best thing about it was I was working as in the Strathclyde University as an electronics technician, like training. Right, I'd been there about 6 months. Dave Murdoch was working in the music store that had found the advert for Dave Rudden,
Was he
and
okay?
we all met together and we all rehearsed for 11 weeks in the
Okay.
Prince Studio in Glasgow. Did our first gig, and then all that stuff happened to me within like six or
Yeah.
8 weeks. So
Yeah.
that all happened in the space of like 4 months, 5 months, to suddenly I'm on tour with the Minds.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's wild,
Was it?
isn't it? You get it in the frame, and remember, I'm only 17. I'm freaking
Yeah.
a boy. I've got no idea what's going on, really. You
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
somehow
Right.
these things fell. It's just a lucky. I was just lucky,
Yeah.
really,
Well,
because I wasn't.
that's
You
a
know,
big part of it, being in the right place at the right time, right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
also about getting out there. I mean, I would never
Yeah.
have got
You have
any
to
of
be
those
out.
opportunities if I hadn't met Dave Rudden.
That's right.
So if I hadn't met him, he sort of triggered it because he already had the record deal and all that. So he already had an imprint to place on us, an overlay. Like, no, no, with
Yep.
risers,
Right.
backdrops, lights,
Yeah.
PA, sound
Yeah.
man, lighting girl, everything.
Yeah.
Like it was
Well,
the first gig. It
right. Right.
wasn't, let's go and play in the coffee bar around the corner and
Yeah.
a
Right.
bucket at the front.
Let's go busk. Yeah.
And every
Yeah.
song was our own, apart from
Yeah.
Autobahn. So we started
Right.
with Autobahn, and everything was our own songs.
Right.
So
Well,
we, there was
is Dave?
no, there was
Yeah.
no, weren't going to be playing other
Right.
people's. That was just to introduce us to we're Teutonic, we're
Yeah. Yeah.
Tubeway
Yeah.
Army. Look at us, we're
Oh,
Autobahn.
yes.
You
Right. Right.
know,
Well,
that was
well,
that was fun.
is it David or one of the ex members as a teacher became a teacher?
One of the ex-members did become a teacher, Willie Gardner.
Willie, that's who it is. That's who
Willie
it is.
Gardner.
Yes.
Willie
Yes.
Willie was a bit older than us, so was Brian. Willie, I think, was maybe about 5 or 6 years older than us,
Yeah.
and I think Brian's maybe 2 or 3 years older than us. So the slightly nearly. Willie had a band called the Zones. You
Okay.
can go and check him out online.
Okay.
It's Willie was an extraordinary guitar player.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
was really really good player.
Yes. I love
You
that.
know,
Going back to Love Cares, I love that groove on that. You know,
yeah.
yeah,
He had some. His best groove is, I think, is what's
that
down down
that
down.
funky that funky groove. Yeah.
Aye, the funky stuff. He really the chic stuff. You know, he can do the chic stuff. He doesn't,
Yes. Yes.
which is really hard to do. And it's like he can do it, and it can rig it down in the middle of
Yeah.
it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
wow. So
Right.
yeah, he was great to watch, and he was great in the studio, and he had a great. He could sing. He was really good tuning wise and harmonies and stuff. Musically, he was more complete than anyone else in the band, I would say, you know. But
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I mean, he had to deal with his owns, and it didn't work out. Before that, he was in another band, so I don't
Yeah.
know what happened. But it
Right.
ran out of road for him after it. He didn't do anything much after, I don't think. Endgames. I
Yeah.
think Brian McGee did Propaganda. He went on to Propaganda and played with them for a couple of years.
Okay. Okay.
Brian's
Right.
the one you
Right.
want to talk to. Brian's in
Yeah.
there. It starts with the
Yeah.
mines, and then
Yeah.
he's got his Endgames era, then he's got his Propaganda era.
Yeah.
And Derek, you want to, honestly, the two you really want to talk to is Mick McNeil and Derek Forbes, because Mick
Okay.
McNeil and Derek Forbes were two of the foundations of Simple Minds sound.
Yeah.
What we have today of Simple Minds was built on the riffs of those two guys. You
Yes.
know, no question. It's
I
just
think
it's extraordinary.
I might have reached out. I saw it was like a show, not a show. It was maybe a podcast where it's like three or four members and they're all
Yes,
talking and they're all
that's
talking.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. It's called The Minds. You should, talk to them,
Yeah.
reach out to them, because they're
Yeah.
doing their podcast and that. And if you can catch a slot, you can sit and talk to them. They'll tell you
Yeah.
loads of stuff. They're great
Yeah.
guys. I mean, Mick's brilliant. Mick's got the whole. He's from the islands. He's from Barra.
Right.
He's not from the mainland, as we call it here.
Right. Right.
So he's got
Well,
an even better story.
yeah.
He's a McNeil Fibara, which has got a whole,
Yeah.
history.
That's
And Derek
yeah.
is an extremely good musician. Derek
Yeah.
Forbes can play the guitar like a beast. He can play the piano. He's
Right.
really, really good player. I mean, his bass playing is signature in Simple Minds.
Yeah.
Especially in the new Gold Dream album you were talking about. But all the
Uh,
way through, I mean, see Empires and Dance. You know,
right. Right.
brilliant riffs on it. I mean, that was the album I was out on tour with, and he was the linchpin with his
Yeah.
keyboards.
Okay.
They were like two kind of
Right.
behemoths holding the sound together, and Jim was doing his whole kind of "I'm a labyrinth."
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah.
did a great job. I commend them all. It's
Yeah.
amazing how far they took it, and
Yeah.
it's extraordinary that they
It,
have had the success they've
yeah.
had, and it's well deserved.
Is it just Jim and Charlie, the only original members? Charlie Birchall?
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, that's it.
That's
The
that's
only two left.
that's what I thought.
And it's but those three that are called the Minds.
Yeah.
They've got all the stories because they were there. When I was doing the
Right.
Skids
Right.
album, I was living with Jobson and his
Yes.
wife at the time, Mariella Frostrop, and
Right.
Steve Severn.
Yes.
So they're living in uh, De Vere Gardens,
Yeah.
Kensington. So it's
Yeah.
all very hoi polloi, and and they've got all their friends coming in and out, like the Banshees are coming out all the time, and the Cure, Robert Smith's their pal, they're all pals. Jobson's a kind of influencer at the time, if you like, and everybody's hanging out, actors and actresses and stuff. He was doing a poetry book at the time, so he had that whole, he's moving into that kind of field. Well, we were doing the album, all this was going on at the same time. So it was a wonderful, like, I don't know how long it lasted. Oh, here's the best thing about it, right? Now, we do a video for a track called Iona, which is this kind of from the Joy album, or just before the Joy album, actually. It wasn't a single on Joy, but it was just before it.
Okay.
And we go to Port Marion, where the famous TV show, with the prisoner, it's called.
Oh, where it was filmed. Okay.
That's
Okay. Yeah.
filmed there, right?
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
on the beach. You wouldn't even know, right? If you see the video,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
whatever.
I love. I
But the
used to watch
guy
that.
who's
Yeah.
the guy who's doing the video, who we're hanging out with and we have dinner with, is the
Mhm.
guy who ended up doing the movie The Highlander, Russell
Oh. Oh.
Mulcahy. So
Okay.
Russell Mulcahy's with us, and we're all sitting. I don't even know who he is. Again, I'm like, I don't know who you are. We're all just. It's like one of these, pompous, kind of like rich, kind of 16, pieces of cutlery. Evenings where we finished with port and cheese. It was one of them, and he was there, and he's an Aussie. So again, I'm like, I don't know who you are. I'm not in the business long, sir. But
Yeah.
you sound like you're not from around here.
Right. Right. You could tell by his accent, right?
But he went on to do. I think he did the Highlander the next year.
Yeah. After that, isn't that fascinating? Wow. But you had,
Yeah.
I think before we started, you had a story about Robert Smith. Uh,
Oh, so while I was staying with Jobson, they used
yeah.
to have a Tuesday night poker night, and
Yeah.
that was like the boys' night. So Robert would be there, Steve Seven would be there, and then whoever else they had different nights with some other guitarist or someone else would turn up, and they'd all be in the living room laughing and having a right good time, and copious beverages. And then one morning I came in and I opened the door to Robert Smith lying with sick next to him, and the whole would shut the door right away because it was like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But again, it was like I didn't know who anybody was. I knew who he was,
Yeah.
obviously, but it was happening in real time, and I was like, involved with these people at the same time. It wasn't like I was a fan. I was actually in it. You know,
Right.
so I didn't know any better. I'm still a teenager. I'm
Right.
19. I think I was 19 when I did the
Yeah.
Skids thing. You know,
Oh
so
yeah.
so,
Uh,
what I mean, just 18, 19, I wasn't really, I had the year of doing this stuff, working with my own band and all the different iterations. And I'd also had the inspiration. But after the Skids album, I'd had two really wonderful opportunities. One was like a full 4-month tour with a high end act, seeing it all, full production, high end production, all brilliant, And then I'd seen this with the Skids being in a professional studio, being recorded and all that. So I'd had all that experience to kind of muster my understanding of how to go forward, if you like,
yeah.
Plus all the kind of entertainment, those sort of nights and where
Yes.
they're
Yes.
all shouting and bawling and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, I like.
after the Fiction Factory time
Yeah.
was replacing the keyboard player. They just had a big hit in Britain. They did Top of the Pops, and then he didn't want to go on tour. I went out on tour. We did the OMD tour.
Yeah.
We did a lot of kind of TV shows across Europe with them, and then we did the second album, and
Yeah.
that
Wow.
would be about 86. And that's
Okay.
when I went, no, about 85, 86, I went to London and started working for Sterling Audio with
Okay.
Fairlight.
Okay. Well, how did you get into that to begin with? With the
But I saw an advert, and
okay, and
I
you
didn't know
applied.
that a lot of people didn't know how to use the Fairlight. I thought because I had been using it, I thought there must be other people using it, but there was only 55 ever sold in Britain because
Wow.
they were 200 grand in 1980 to buy this thing. It was 200 grand.
Yeah.
Well, like now it'd be like, I don't know how that would scale up to today's,
Yeah.
but it was an extraordinary amount of money. So it was only the richest of the rich that were successful, that were,
Yeah.
Mike
Oh,
Oldfield had one,
right.
guys like that, Gabriel, Peter Gabriel had one,
Yeah. Oh,
guys that had made money and could afford it. But anyway, that gave me the intro to the music industry. After that, I worked for Akai. Akai, the Japanese company, they brought out a sampler called
yeah.
the S1000, S900, then the S1000, and they brought out the MPC 60, which is like the pad thing that everyone uses now.
Yeah.
So I had the good fortune to work for them for a couple of years. Then I worked for Harman, which is a US based multi-brand company, JBL, Harman Kardon. They own a load of stuff. I did 2 or 3 years with them, and then I went to Germany, worked for the Firma Steinberg GmbH. So that was a software company that developed Cubase. Cubase was the first digital audio workstation
Oh,
that
okay.
was that actually had the left to right kind of strips that everyone sees as synonymous. They were the first to do it.
Yeah.
And I was there. I lived in Hamburg, Germany for 3 or 4 years. So I changed. It gave me another kind of chapter in my life because I realised I was in Europe. You know,
Yeah. Right. Right.
I
Yeah.
realised I'd been on an island. That's another way
Uh-huh.
of putting it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that changed things. And then I came to America 3 or 4 years
Yeah.
later, 96. Yeah, 96. 92, I go to Hamburg. 96, I go to California. And
Right.
I'm in Silicon Valley for a while in Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
And then I'm in LA, in Arcadia, out in near Pasadena,
Yeah. Yeah.
working with different companies that were manufacturers of audio, professional audio sort of components and software and stuff like that. And so that's what I've been doing since then. I've like since my music, my wonderful career in music, which is short lived, but I only look at it with such, you know,
Fun,
happiness because
funness. Yeah. Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
right time. I always keep saying to myself, whenever I look at it, it was the right time.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that when you're 35. It's just, it's not the same, you
No.
know? You
No.
want that all to happen when you're teens into your 20s. You know, by
Right.
the time I'm 22, I'm like, wow, what a life. You know, I could just write
Yeah.
a book on that because so much happened,
Yeah. Right.
you know?
Right.
And but it
That-
set me up for life, honestly. Yeah,
yeah.
it really did because it gave me a really wide angle on life and what is possible, and also the kind of people I was meeting. A lot of professional people.
Yes.
You know, you don't meet Irvays off every day. Not a lot of
Right.
people meet Irvays off. You know,
Yeah.
and when you're
No,
like
no.
21 or 22, and he has to meet you because you're the only
Yeah.
guy. You're the guy that we gave the check to. Yeah, yeah. All right, I need to meet you. I mean,
Yeah.
that was it. I knew when when we were in Virgin and we were having the party,
Yeah.
and Simon Draper, the guy
Oh,
that
Simon Draper
MD'd it.
Bell. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Simon Draper, not Simon Draper Bell.
Oh, not Simon Draper.
Um, no, it's actually Richard Branson's cousin, South African cousin that ran
Okay.
Virgin. He was the MD. Simon, can't remember. I should remember, but he was the one that actually, you know, gave me the check, the advance check. He didn't give it to anybody else in the band. He gave it to me because I'd actually done all the negotiations. You know, I didn't,
Oh,
but I wasn't looking like that. I was just looking like I was a
it
band
is. Yeah,
member,
it is
and the
Simon Draper.
interest of the band I was looking after. You
Right.
know.
It is Simon Draper. Just Simon Draper. Yeah, that's his
That's
cousin.
Simon Draper, yeah. So
That's
Simon Draper was actually the MD, and when he walked over to me at the party and he said, "There you go, Paul," and he gave me a Coots and Co check, which
yeah.
is the Queen's Bank, but it's 1983. I'm
Yeah.
from Glasgow. It looks like a toy bank to me. I'm like, what toy bank, Coots and Co? Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't find out until I came back to Scotland. I went into a local bank here, and
Yeah.
when I went to the teller, she looked at it and just said, "Excuse me," and went away and got the bank manager, who came out and said, "Come on in my room."
Yeah. Oh,
And said, "Where
yeah.
did you get this?"
Uh-huh. Is that
Because at the
right?
time I'm like, 22, and I'm like, I've probably got dyed hair, and I've
Yeah.
probably got guy liner on. I'm probably
Yeah.
wearing trousers that you can see through.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It was just like,
Yeah.
and he's
She's
looking
like,
at it,
where did you get
looking at it,
this?
he's like, "Come on, own up. What's really going on here?"
Yeah, well, really. Exactly. Yeah. Well,
He loved it.
I reached out to Richard Jobson too, and I know
That's
he's
a
real
hard
busy.
one.
He's touring and he's doing
Yeah,
so much. I didn't expect him to respond, but I would really like to talk to him, not only about Skids but Armory Show.
yeah, with
That,
John McGeer. I love John
yes,
McGeer
yes,
magazine. John
right.
McGeer's playing. Look what he did to the Banshees. He
Yeah.
turned the Banshees, all
Oh,
those songs,
his
Israel, all that.
his
You
name
know,
has come up. His name has come up several times. John's as a
yeah,
guitarist, as an inspiration.
yeah.
In doing these interviews, it's come up several times. Everybody likes that sound. Yeah, that sound that he.
They like him. The British kind of guy, like the guitarist from the Smiths. He
Uh,
loves John McGeer. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like these guys that are iconic love John McGeer. No, what's his face loves him. Noel. He loves
No.
John
Noel
McGeer.
Gallagher. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Right.
because they love all that. It's magazine. It's Manchester.
Right.
And it's this guy making sound that's like they wanted to have their own sound. He's got his own sound. They've got a
Yes.
love for him. I appreciate it. But he's Scottish. That's what I love. He's for Greenock.
There. You're partial. You're definitely partial.
You know all
Yeah.
the Scots thing. It's like it runs so deep. There's two
Yeah.
things that people have said to me so many times in life. The first thing they say is all Scotsmen have very short arms and very deep pockets.
Oh, do they say okay?
Difficult to get to the money. It's
Yeah.
so far
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Right. Wear your pants way up here. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. The pockets are so deep, I just can't get to
They just can't reach them. They just can't reach them. That's funny. That's
And
funny.
we all have this affinity. As soon as we find out that someone's Scottish, wherever you are,
Yeah.
like if I'm, at trade shows in other parts of the world,
Yeah.
if I hear the Glaswegian accent or the Edinburgh accent, I turn towards it immediately. You
Yeah.
know, there's a
Right.
recognition right away.
You- you-
You're from the same place as me. We're all very nationalistic. Let's have a chat. You know,
Right.
and there's certain kind of
Yeah.
bonds made right away. I think it would be similar. It's very similar to most people. You know, if you're from a particular neck of the woods. You know,
Yes.
like Boston. You know, are you for the South Side? Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's all in the one. They're all happy. Or where are you
Right.
from? Brooklyn. Oh, you're one of us. You know,
Yeah.
it's that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Same sort of affinity that we
Yeah.
just maybe we
It
can't
is.
help
It
it. We
is.
just keep it going. It's
Yeah.
also because we only dudes on the planet that wear skirts and look cool.
Right. There you go. It takes a knack to do that. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, you just walk about with a kilt and just what do you think? Yeah, this is
Right.
masculine. Chicks will
Yeah.
dig it.
The
You all want to
masculine.
know.
Yeah.
You know,
That's right.
where's your undercarriage? You know.
Oh, well, let's. Do you have any story from Trump's recent visit to,
It's got to
or
Britain.
did you
No,
just stay away from that? Yeah. Yeah.
no, I'm ambivalent, to be
Yeah.
frankly honest. Having lived in the States and watched what's
Yeah.
happened, I was there during for 2002, so
Yeah.
I've seen the
Well,
Obama era and all that, and I've seen it just
yeah.
it's
Right.
so
Yeah.
divisive what's happened. There seems to be
Yeah.
two camps, and there seems to be a lot of people unhappy in both
Right.
camps. But the
Yeah.
same Britain, we've got the same
Yeah.
problem. We've got a worse problem because we've got gang rapes by Muslim people on young children, and the government's suppressing that information. So we've got an even more,
Yeah.
horrendous situation. You guys are fighting each other about, oh, I hate him, oh, I hate you, I hate, it's getting a bit mad at the moment with the recent assassination.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not American, but trying to be
Right.
sensitive about it. I don't think it really fits in anybody's moral sort of. Oh,
No.
there we go.
Well, there
There
we go. There we go.
we go.
Yeah.
This is Mac. Hello, Mac.
See,
Mac.
oh, that's wild because the my dog's Max, Max,
Oh
Max,
wow, mine's
and this
Mac.
is Mac.
Yeah.
Hello,
There's
Mac.
Mac.
I wonder, can he hear me? Hello, Mac. Hi, Mac.
No, he's not
It's just-
listening. He wants to love.
no.
He's just looking for love.
Oh, yeah. That's what they like. They like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
these are frisbee dogs. I take them out and I throw the frisbee and they
Oh,
catch and bring them back. That's how I
yeah.
train. That's why they're nice and calm.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't do. I'm not fit enough. It's like you need to run a marathon to get them to slow down. These things run for hours.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
tend to go on the top of a hill and throw my frisbee, and they
Uh-huh.
run away down the hill and catch it and run away back up.
And
And
then
they do
bring
that
it
for
back.
about 25 minutes, and their tongue's hanging out, and they're like, "I need a drink."
Bring it back.
But super happy,
Right.
super happy.
Right. When you first started doing that with them, would they get the frisbee and just run off and not bring it back? Did they do
No, no,
that? They
because
didn't.
the
They
uh,
didn't.
the father of the oldest,
Yeah.
so I got the old one, Oscar.
Yeah.
He's the professional catcher. So all I did was brought the little guy in, and the little
Okay.
guy just caught on right away. Wait a minute, I want to catch that.
Oh,
I
right.
want to catch that. He's like, wait, but he's catching
Yeah.
that, and he's getting all
Yeah.
the glory, and I'm getting none. So he's sort of like,
Yes.
and he's really
Exactly.
fast, so he's catching it all the time before. But what he's
Yeah.
doing is, and this is they've done it between themselves, is he catches it now, brings it over, and drops it in front of Oscar, so Oscar can present it to me.
Oh, that's
It's so
nice.
beautiful.
How
They
sweet.
did it themselves. It's better than watching a movie. Honestly, I
Yeah.
can go out and play for like three-quarters of an hour, and it's
Yeah.
it's just wonderful watching the two of them and the athleticism of them, and they really want to do a good job. They want to, if they catch it in the midair and they're
Yeah.
spectacular, like turn in the air and catch. They look at you like, "Did you see that?" Like they want
Right. Right.
yay.
They want that affirmation. They want that
Yeah,
affirmation.
exactly,
Yes, they do.
exactly.
They do that. They need that from us. Yeah, from the owners and stuff. Well,
Anyway,
speaking of movies, have you seen real quick? I don't know if it's out there yet. I don't know if it's here yet, but it's coming. The new Spinal Tap. Are you going to watch that?
yes, I saw a little bit of it last week. I
Okay.
watched a bit of it. It looks great. Spinal
Yeah.
Tap is the best, isn't it? Isn't
Yeah.
it? It's really just. I can imagine. I loved it at the time. Same time. It's 84. It's exactly the
Right.
same time, and
Right.
it must have really hit home with all the. I mean, can you imagine all the sort of, what they call the sort of glam rock sort of era
Yeah.
that came out in America at the time, Poison and
Yeah. Oh,
Van
yeah.
Halen and all that.
Yes.
It was that
Yes.
whole sort of scene. They were all dressed with a satin freaking tight things, and they all
Yes.
had the
Yeah.
hair,
Right.
you know, and, and that fits in right perfectly
It
with
does
them,
fit
doesn't it?
in. It does
Yeah,
fit
you
in.
know, it
And
fits it like because they could all sit in their tour buses and just laugh their asses off at themselves like for
yeah.
hours. It's like we've done that,
Yeah. Yes,
you know,
exactly.
we've done, and the songs as well. The
Oh,
big
yes.
bottom girls. Oh, classic! It's like I just love it. You got to laugh,
You
you know.
got to. It's so hilarious,
It's
and
yeah.
the exploding drummer,
Oh, the never-ending tale of drummers, chapters of drummers dying in different ways. And this one, I saw a little bit of this one where they get it's like a really famous black drummer. He's got the funny hair. I think he used to play on the uh, one of the late night shows when they had the bands. And
Okay.
he's on a Zoom call with them. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to play with you. And they're like, no, well, we really need a drummer. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, it's too dangerous.
It's
I can't wait to
exactly.
see it because they are funny. I love the whole deadpan here,
Yes.
The funny thing is what's the one? I don't know what his name is. The one that also does the does the TV. He does some of the voices in one of the cartoons.
Oh, yes. Okay.
The bass
Okay.
player.
Yeah, the bass player. Yeah,
Yeah. So
he
he
does the
come.
Simpsons. The Simpsons.
So I
Yeah.
do a show every year
Yeah.
in January in
Yeah.
Anaheim in LA. It's called the
Right.
National
Right.
Association of Music Merchandisers.
Right.
So it's all the kind of music, suppliers from Fender, Gibson, and the guitar side to all the kind of keyboardy guys, Roland, Yamaha, Korg, etc. And he has done the kind of winners, tech awards. He's done it maybe half a dozen times over the years. So he'll
Yeah.
come along and he'll do the whole compare for the whole show.
Yes.
And it's
Okay.
fun because he's funny. He's really funny, and he can do voices as well. And
Oh,
and
he
he's
does.
and,
He
and he
does
can
real good.
play. He's a
Yes.
musician, so he can make jokes about the musicians
Ye-
and musiciany
ye-
things. So
Yes,
it's,
he
it's
is.
it's fun, and he comes. He does it. I think he likes coming along. I think he lives in LA, and it's like just down the
Uh,
road, and it's
that-
like I'll come for the day, and he gets paid well. I'm sure he's
right.
paid handsomely for
That's
his
the yeah.
appearance.
It is the basis. Harry Shearer. Harry
That's
Shearer.
him. Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen him a few times. I
Yeah.
haven't like annoyed him and anything like that because I'm like, whatever, dude. You're
Yeah.
doing your thing, I'm doing mine. But I've just noticed him there quite a few times at the show, and I've been at some of the award shows, and he's been the compere. So it's
Yeah.
quite good because you get an insight into another part of him.
Yes, yes, exactly. Or yeah, real quick, talked to a guy recently, and he was talking about from the first one, the Isle of Lucy. Remember that part, the Isle of Lucy? And he's like,
Yeah,
they played there, and it's like, oh, I love Lucy. It finally
yeah.
dawned on me. It's like those. They're funny. But I look forward to watching the new one too. I hope it's as good as
Yeah.
the first time.
My
First time.
favourite in the first one is when he's sitting playing the ballad and he says,
Yeah,
D minor.
yeah,
It's a very sad key, D
yeah,
minor. And
yeah.
it's like playing along and he's doing a little, and he's like, that's lovely. And yeah, yeah, what's it called? And he's like my love pump. It's like, oh my God, it's just so wrong. What you just said is heinous. But
Yeah.
in context, it's really hilarious because
Yeah.
it's like, no, it's so left field. Nobody's thinking there's all this
Right.
soft, kind of
Right.
dark
Right.
D minor sad song, not freaking like my love pump for Christ's
Right.
sake.
Right. Exactly.
Brilliant.
Christopher Guest,
Yes.
one of the others, he's actually fifth Baron Hayden Guest
Yes.
from England, from like a
Yes.
baron, like a baron. He's an American and British actor, which
Yeah.
I didn't realize until recently. Yeah, so
Uh,
he's got that royal heritage.
yeah.
There.
But
It's getting
this has been wonderful. It's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. It's great to get the story out, you
yes,
know.
yes. Well, I'm glad we had this time to do it. I'm so glad we had this time together. No, no, but I do appreciate it, and I will send you a copy, Paul.
Okay.
Usually like the next week. Anything I need to edit out, and then you can post it wherever you like. And
I
share.
won't post anything. I'll just leave it in your good capable hands. But
Okay.
thanks for your time, Gary.
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
All righty. Thanks, and all the best to you. Okay, Paul.
You too. Take care, man.